Hello everyone, Annette here with ASCardDesign. Today we're going to make a card using products from the limited edition Simon Says Stamp card kit called Let Us Adore Him. Now here I'm showing you some of the pattern pieces of cardstock that are in the kit. These are beautiful. They're 6x6, double-sided, and the scenes are just stunning. Most of them are just like winter scenes. In fact, all of them are. And I'm just going through showing you each side. I love that one. I love them all actually, and I've been playing around with it a little bit, but I am showing you here and trying to decide which one I'm going to use. It's really hard, and it's so hard when these papers are so beautiful, which one to use, because you know you're going to be cutting and sacrificing one of the sides. But I'm also going to be using the Ginakdesigns Master Layouts 17, and I'm showing you the matte layer and the panel layer, and I'm going to use this window die to cut out a window feature. So we're basically going to pick a scene and have a window like peeking out or peeking through the scene. So I chose the Christmas tree scene here because it just looked like a tree farm, and I just really like that. So I went ahead and cut the window die out of the gold cardstock that's also in the kit. And then these are just the panels that you get that fall out of the windows. And then there's also the window pane. Now, later in the video, you're going to see that I had to redo this part and I went with a different color altogether. Uh, I just kind of made a bunch of mistakes along the way here and edited a bunch of this out. So anyway, it is what it is, right? And then I also cut out the matte layer out of the gold cardstock. I do end up using this, but a nice way not to waste all that gold cardstock in the middle is I went ahead and cut out the window die out of the center, and then I'll show you later that I will glue a piece of cardstock to the back. Right there it is, just to fill in that gap so it doesn't sag at the in the result or in the end result of the card. So I am going to go ahead and adhere this now. And I just cut a piece of white cardstock just a little bit smaller than the panel layer or the matte layer, excuse me. And I'm just adhering that with some Ginakde liquid glue, and there you go. Now the panel layer will go over top of that. So here is the panel die. This is from Master Layout 17, and it is a nice stitched edge, stitched border. You can see right there. And this is a really well-used die in my card supplies. But this is actually, if I didn't mention, a 5x7 card. The end result will be a 5x7 card. So Master Layout 7 is perfect for that. And here I'm just getting set up with, I think I'm going to be bringing in, there it is, the Big Shot, Sizzix Big Shot die cutting machine. So we're going to just cut this panel out. You'll see here in a moment, I'll be moving the die around just to crop where I want it exactly. And I really like that position. So we'll go ahead and just put it there, taping it down with some low-tack tape, and just carefully moving it out of the way while I get my plates in order here, and then we'll run it through the die cutting machine. And we'll just run that through, and there you see a beautiful stitched edge around that panel. And I just think that's gorgeous. This is a beautiful die set. And then here I'm just showing you I was getting ready to glue the panel to the matte layer, and then it'll just leave a nice gold border all the way around, and it's just very, very, very elegant looking. And there's that piece on the back. Now, coming up right here is where I'm bringing back Master Layout 7, and I'm recutting out. I had to scrap the idea of the gold window, and I went with this soft green color. It's kind of like a moss green. I just found it in my stash, and I die cut it out twice here, and I'm just adhering the two layers together just to give it a little sturdiness and some dimension. And I'll do the same thing with the windowsill. Later in the video, when I'm putting this card together, I decided I wanted a little more depth, and I cut out another layer so that you have that to look forward to coming up. So here I believe is where I am going to, yes, glue the panel layer to the matte layer. And this is where it's hard for all of us card makers, right? When we have beautiful pattern papers, both sides are gorgeous. And, I'll have to make something with the scraps of that other side here later. But just gluing it down, eyeballing even margins all the way around. And I had it off just a little bit, but the glue gives you a little bit of time. I just took it off, repositioned it, took my time, and I think it was good to go that second time. So just take your time and you'll get there. So, all right. This, like I said, is a 5x7. So that's my card base. And the uh, card panel and matte layer, I'm just gluing that down. And sorry, my camera's going out of focus. When there's just white, when there's a lot of white, it kind of has fits. So it likes to be focusing on something. So just eyeballing that, getting it centered onto the card base. And I just think this is a nice, simple, clean looking card. Just a beautiful scenery there with the Christmas trees. And so here I'm positioning the windowsill and I'm kind of deciding, I think I might want a little bit more dimension. And I'm deciding whether I want to use foam tape or cut out another die piece, with the window in the windowsill. So I'm kind of figuring this out. And I ended up deciding, you know what? I'm just going to cut out another piece. So I already did that, and I'm just re-adhering a third layer to this uh, window scene. And it's really simple to do, but just take your time when you do these cards. If you want to rethink or redo something, just do it. That's the whole process, right? It's just fun creating. So I'm just adding some glue because now we have 3 layers. This window is 3 layers thick. So it will add some depth to the card project. And that's exactly what I wanted. So here I'm going to position it right in the center. And it's just so cool. I love the window die, and I just love how the trees are in the background and just like you're just looking out of a window in a tree farm. And I'm just having fun with this card. All right, so I'm putting my Sweet Petunia Mini Misty on there. So it has more than one use of restamping stamps. It's a good weight. And then I'm just adding some Ginakde Connect glue to my windowsill, and we'll get that adhered down. And then all we have left, I believe, is the greeting coming up. And now this windowsill would actually be cute also in an accent color like the gold cardstock. And I probably, in hindsight, could have done that. That would have been a nice little accent piece. But I am bringing in the greeting that I used. And this is a Merry Christmas greeting. And it's from Ginakde, and it is called Merry Christmas and Shadow Die. And it's 2 dies. One is the shadow layer, one says Merry Christmas, and this is a really good die set to have in your supplies. It's just a very elegant script or font, and I've already cut out 2 shadow layers and then one of the layer of the Merry Christmas. Now, just be mindful if you have sets like this, that little eye is a separate piece and it's tiny. So I like to have a little dish around and these little tiny pieces. It's right there in the dish. It's upside down right now. And I think I do flip it over. But they're very easy to lose. So just kind of watch out for those when I'm die cutting and I have little dots like that. I get those out first, isolate them, get them safe and secure off to the side, and then move on. So I got my shadow layer and the Merry Christmas. Now, again, I already glued the 2 layers of the shadow layer together. I was going to edit this part out right here, but I did not. I decided I'm going to leave it in and show you. Now you could put some glue down on your surface and just lightly drag these intricate dies across it to get glue on it. But if you have a fine tip glue bottle, it's just as easy. This is real time right here. And it just doesn't take long. And that's why I decided not to speed up this part or cut it out. So to line it up, I'm just looking at the top of the M and the curve of the C and just lining those up and then looking at the top there. and the rest just kind of falls in place. If you just don't force it, just let it drop where it would want to drop naturally. And then for the eye, I just put a little bit of glue down. Now here I had a little bit too much glue, so I did dab it off. I did edit that out, but bringing in the little eye dot with my Ginakde pick tool, and you just drop it down, and there is your beautiful Merry Christmas greeting. And I just love that gold shiny cardstock. Okay, this card is almost finished, so we will bring back the card, and we're just going to add the greeting. Now, you could do a lot more to this card. I left it kind of simple. Here I'm deciding whether I want to, I'm going to be deciding whether I want to put the greeting straight across or on an angle. I end up going with the angle, but before I put the greeting on, I could have done some white ink splats, and that would have been really, really cool. I kind of wish I would have done that in hindsight. I could still do it just by covering up the Merry Christmas and then just splatting some white ink on randomly. So that would look pretty too. But I left it like this, and I like the way it came out. And I hope you did too. It has that beautiful gold border and the stitched border around the panel. So that's the video. If you like this, I hope you give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, have a great day.